To call to order the Douglas Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for Wednesday, September 1st at 7:02 PM. The first agenda item is a public hearing continued for Scott Fontaine and Tina Cantone, case number 2021-13, 83 Webster Street, and the application was July 14th. This meeting was continued from last month because the applicant wasn't notified of the meeting and therefore didn't attend. So, hey, Mr. Fontaine?
Yes.
Oh.
We'll try to get on Zoom if we didn't see you guys come on, so we're rushed down there.
Okay,
that's all right.
great, just in time. So, I'm going to read what was published. And it said, Scott Fontaine and Tina Cantone are requesting a variance pursuant to MGL Chapter 40A, Section 10, and the Douglas zoning bylaws, Section 4.1.3, Appendix B, dimensional regulations to construct a 34 by 32 car garage with storage space on the side with an 8-foot breezeway to the main house in an RC2 zone district. The proposed side yard setback requirement is 25 feet, and they were asking for 6.92 is proposed. The property is located at 83 Webster Street, map 199, parcel 16. So, just to bring everybody up to speed on what happened here.
I'm going to recuse myself.
Oh, Mr. Fitzpatrick's going to recuse himself. So, back in, I guess, July, they had come in looking for a variance, and they were 6 feet from the lot line, and the board said, we think that's asking for too much. And they went back and revised their plans, and then they came back the following month. But in the meantime, at the first hearing, Sean was present and Lou wasn't. At the second hearing, Sean wasn't here, but Lou was, but he wasn't here for the first meeting. So technically, he couldn't vote, but he did vote, and it was all approved, but unfortunately, the procedure wasn't correct. So basically, we're starting all over tonight, and Mr. Fontaine, do you want to join us? Do you want to come up and, okay. So Mr. Fontaine revised his request and revised his proposal, so he was 12.6?
7.5, I believe. Yeah, 12.75.
12.75 from the lot line, which we approved, but we did it. Lou wasn't at both meetings, so he technically couldn't vote. So, so we're back here to kind of square one. So tonight it'll be myself, Mr. Bombara, Mr. Forget, and Mr. Tassino that'll be voting on the case. And if you just want to give us a brief rundown, we've all heard it before, but just...
So we applied for a variance, and we gave some drawings, and as you said, the board requested that we kick the side yard back to at least half of what the variance was at 25. So we met the requirements at 12.75, and then everybody agreed on it, and I'm not sure what happened after that as far as...
Right.
We were supposed to be all said and done, and...
Right. Yeah, there was just a technical error on our end, so...
And Maria told me that it was going to be all signed off on August 4th, if I remember the date properly.
Right.
And then we didn't know we were supposed to come.
Right.
She didn't tell us to come, so then here we are today.
Yeah, no, it's been a variety of issues, but we're here tonight. And I don't know if everybody recalls that application, or if anybody has any questions of Mr. Fontaine.
I remember it quite well, and I mean, we approved that evening, and again, technicality came in when they got messed up between Sean and Lou, you know, so.
Correct.
Nothing's changed on the plans.
Right.
So we've already done it once, and I'm ready to vote again for it, so.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, I don't know why we have to go through the whole thing. I mean, he gave it to us.
Well-
We maybe did it wrong,
Yeah.
but, you know, not really.
Yeah, nothing's changed. It was just a technical thing, so we're all here tonight, and we can all vote tonight.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Bombara. Do we have a close?
second.
Seconded by Mr. Tassino to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, the public hearing's closed. And
I'll move to approve docket number 2021-13, 83 Webster Street. Ken, you have a copy of all the plans already still, right?
Yeah.
He does,
That's a copy
okay,
of
so,
the
anyway, I move to approve it. Variance.
I second it.
okay, so Mr. Bombara's motion includes approval of their addition being within 12,
Yes, 12 feet.
no closer than 12.75 feet.
Yes,
No closer than 12.75 feet from the lot line.
yes.
Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Bombara, second by Mr. Tassino. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
Unanimous?
Okay.
You're not on TV
There
anymore.
was one other thing that I just wanted to bring up. Several years ago, the board voted that out of necessity, the chairman could sign just the decision. And Mr. Fontaine's been at this for way too long. So town council said he'd draft it immediately, but then there'd be some times with a holiday coming that we'd have to get everybody in here to sign it. So if the board's okay with that, as soon as it's drafted, I'll come in and sign it, and then he can get it to the town clerk, because he's still got a 20-day appeal period.
Yeah,
So that would just move things along for him a little
faster.
faster. It's been a long
sounds
journey for him.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
So-
sorry for the confusion, but
great.
laws are laws.
Hey, maybe it'll be cheaper for wood, that's all, I don't get it.
Yeah, lumber's coming down, maybe you'll be,
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna buy it to $2 a 2-way, but we'll see.
Instead of
Yeah.
10.
all right, so your variance is approved at 12.75 feet, no closer than 12.75, and we'll get that drafted, I'll sign it, get it to the town clerk, and then there's a 20-day appeal period, and then you'll be all set.
After that 20 days?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The 20 days starts as soon as the town clerk receives it.
Okay.
So, to the best of my knowledge, it's going to be drafted tomorrow. I come in and sign it, but I think the town clerk, I think, is closed on Fridays, and then Monday's a holiday, so she'll get it on Tuesday. And we'll apologize for making it such a long journey here, but
As it happens.
things happen sometimes.
Yep, absolutely.
Great. Well, thanks for coming in
Thank you
tonight.
so much, I appreciate it.
take care.
Yep, good luck. All right, the next agenda, right? We got 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yep.
Just a point of order, and did you do the attendance for the minute taker?
I did,
You did?
yes. Yep. And I made sure that the minute taker knows it was unanimous as well. And I told her, stated who was voting, and then it was unanimous, so.
Yeah, but did you, for attendance, did you,
Oh, no, no, I know what you're saying.
yeah, because we have a new minute taker, I believe.
Yep, okay, so just in tonight's, attending tonight's meetings, myself, Mr. Fitzpatrick, Mr. Bombara, Mr. Forget, Mr. Tassino, and member Sean Holland has a unexcused absence tonight.
No, so in attendance is Mr. Freed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Everybody knows
a great
Ken.
one.
Minute taker doesn't yet. But he talks so much, she'll get to know him.
Well, actually, we do have a couple minutes. Is there anything, Ken, going on at North Brown?
Brown.
I mean, we haven't talked about it in a couple months.
Yeah, I got the report in from the engineer from Leonard. They do their walkthrough. There's a couple of washout areas that they need to attend to, and I spoke with Dale Vicky with regards to that. I have issued him 2 foundation-only permits, or, well, full permits, but he can only do foundations at this point. And he has put in applications for more, and I said, as soon as we see a binder on the road, then I'll address those additional permits on that. I did ask him what's going on with regards to finishing up the next road section to try and get that site cleaned up and everything, and he said they're working on trying to get some pricing in place, and they need to get their bonding in place at that point for the final paving on the whole site.
Right.
So they're working on all that. So I'm hoping that I get something from them before cold weather hits, that they're gonna get in there and get going on it.
Yep, great. How is the phase they're working on, the road, is that coming along good?
So they've got the road excavated, they got the water sewer lines in, they've got them tested, they've got them all stubbed out, each lot. They're in the process now, they're out to bid for the process material to put down and for the binder coat. So I asked him what his time frame was that, he said probably 2 weeks.
Oh,
So I says, keep informed.
yeah, good.
I says, in the meantime, I want you to keep working, finishing up the existing phase 1, phase 2. So, because he's got that all sold out at this point, except for 2 of the affordables.
Oh,
Then I did follow on the affordables, because he needs to maintain an amount of affordables being sold for each phase.
25%. Yeah.
He's at 14, he needs to be at 14. So he's all set.
where he needs to be.
Yeah.
I drive up there every now and then. The washout is something that, with all this rain we've had,
Right.
it's a never-ending battle, but,
It is, but I mean, there's ways to
Yeah,
stabilize it.
stabilize
They're
it.
starting to figure out that if they use the mats and
the
stuff
mats, I
like
was just
that.
gonna say, so, and the last time I was up there, you see them using the mats now,
Yeah.
so.
But he still has a couple of the, what are those, rain gardens, I guess they call them, that are still not permeating correctly. And I keep after him, and I said, at the rate you go and you keep up with this, you don't get this finished up, I'm not gonna give you any more permits until you do this side 100%. I says, it doesn't matter to me whether you have the permits to keep going or not. These people need to have what they paid for,
Yeah,
so get it finished.
yeah.
So he said he's gonna address it and get it taken care of, so.
How many foundations are we up to now on that third phase?
On Nautical Way, that third phase, he's only, I just did a whole inspection on one Tuesday. That's-
Okay, so he hasn't
He
exceeded
has
the
2
4 that we
permits.
gave him. He hasn't exceeded the 4 that we gave him.
Nope.
Okay.
2 buildings, 4 units.
Two, yeah.
Yeah, 2 foundations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
two
did we agree to 2 foundations or 4 foundations?
No, 2 foundations, 4 units.
Okay, all right.
So I'm trying to hold his feet to the fire,
Yep.
get it going.
Yep,
They do anything with their stockpile of material?
So the stockpile of the loom-type material is grassing over well, and they're keeping that on site. A lot of their other material, that fill material, is being trucked off-site. They were gonna use their stone and crush it and use that for their base in the roads, and they're figuring out that cost-wise, it's probably not gonna work for them, so they're gonna bring material in.
How much material are they taking off-site?
Well, it's over 300 yards, I can tell you that.
So
But I don't know if that's incidental to construction, because there's also that guidance for, you're talking about earth removal permits?
Correct. Yeah.
There's an incidental to construction, that's a clause in there too, and I don't know. I'd have to read more into that to find out. I don't think there's any particular number that they have to meet with for that. But I'll have to look into it to find out for sure. Because I questioned that also.
Yep,
You're trucking this material off, where's it going
so
to?
you might be able to have that answer next month, maybe?
Yeah, I'll try and have it for next month.
Thank you.
one second, we'll get started on the next one.
It is 7:15.
Okay,
He's writing as quick as he can.
Right?
okay. The next agenda item is a public hearing for Jim Travers, case number 2021-14, 17 Reed Road. And This was also advertised, if you recall at our last meeting, there was a question because they had applied based on the distance from their foundation to the lot line, but they had stairs and decks that were closer than what was advertised. So we agreed we'd re-advertise it, and then,
We get the green cards back.
to the best of my knowledge, the green cards had come back. And this hearing was posted at the town hall and also published in the Telegram and Gazette. And it's like I wasn't left the notice, but so the applicant or the representative here? Okay, if you could just state your name for the minute taker, please.
My name is Erin Riley,
Okay.
and I'm the architect for the Tavareses.
Okay,
And, I feel like we've got to stop meeting like this. Hopefully, third time's the charm. I think all of you have been at all of the meetings, so I don't know how much you want me to repeat things, or
well, I think we should, because we basically,
starting.
Starting from
Okay.
scratch.
All right. Well, at the very first time I read what is on, I numbered the pages this time to hopefully make it a little easier, page 2. Jim Tavares, the owner, grew up going to Wallem Lake in the summers, and he's long dreamed of providing the same experience for his family. And when the house at 17 Reed Road came up for sale, he saw it as an opportunity to become part of the community again, as well as to help improve the neighborhood by replacing the existing poorly maintained house with a new house more in keeping with its abutters. In addition, the proposed location of the new house gives relief because the new house foundation will be placed within the current required setbacks. The only non-conforming things about the proposed project are the lot itself and the small attachments which will encroach into the setbacks: covered front stoop, landing and stairs, mechanical equipment, future outdoor shower. So the special permit requirement that the proposed project shall not be substantially more detrimental than the existing nonconformities is clearly met here. We propose a new house that will be a better neighbor to its abutters, both in quality and location. So hopefully the rest of it speaks for itself, and if you have any questions or comments.
okay. And you have a new plot plan showing the actual
Yes,
distance?
yes.
Okay,
Yeah, that's on
All
page 14.
okay.
Did you get that?
He hasn't got that far. He was writing and you were rushing.
No. That's,
Yeah, page 13 shows the footprint of the existing house and how we're moving the foundation. And then the page 14 shows those stairs and so forth.
Yes.
And there are no actual decks, they're all just landings from exterior doors.
landings and stairs?
Yeah.
So just to clarify, on this new one, I guess it would be on the east side, from the lot line to the staircase is 20 feet, going to be 20 feet?
Yes.
Okay,
The other one was 17.5, Mr. Chairman, on the old plans, so,
and that would be from the rear lot line. It would be 17 feet from the rear lot line to the staircase.
17.5, yes.
That's the side lot line. Reed Road's in the
Yes,
front. That's the
yeah.
front.
Yeah,
Right.
northeast side. And of course, the front. Good.
And the front is is 39 feet from the front lot line to the
To the
staircase.
To the bottom of the stair, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. The right side is 25.5, so there's no need for relief.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any board members that have questions for the applicant? No.
I'm good.
Is there anybody? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So on page 17, which is proposed topo for it and the drainage.
Oh, yeah,
Huh?
I'm missing an O.
Oh, so it was your fault I couldn't
Yes.
pronounce it. All right. I'm like, so anyway, it's the topo. That has grade lines that go through the house, so are these existing or are these proposed grading?
This is proposed.
So you have the proposed going underneath the end of the deck, okay.
Yes.
What's the existing now? Is it changing a lot?
It is, I have a drawing of it. It's basically the septic, which is the flat part at the part toward Reed Road, that
Yeah.
is not changing at all. And then in the back, what is just a slope from the 102 down to the 96 or 98 on that rear lot line, we're just sort of flattening out a part of it so that there's a usable area in the back. But other than that, it's, the same slope down. And the existing house is where we're proposing the new walkout on the south side. So that area is basically at that same level right now.
Okay, so you're saying that there's no grade change where the septic is
Correct.
from existing to,
To propose, right.
Propose.
We're leaving that alone.
so the septic system is not elevated at all? It's not a raised septic?
It is, if you look at the, along the Reed Road, it starts down at like 92 and goes up to 98. So it slopes up.
Yeah, 94, 96, 98.
Is it, these two little blocks right here in the middle, is that the property? Is that house in that little one right there?
These two are here. I think it is.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right,
Yeah.
so-
Yep.
Yeah, so the water's coming from the
Yep.
northeast.
Okay.
So, curious what that, so looking at this here, the way the lot is, it looks like everything goes to the right, or
How are you holding the,
if you're looking from Reed Road, it would go to the right. Looking at the property.
Correct.
if this is the,
Look at
Northeast
your
corner.
plan and see where Reed Road is.
yeah,
So if you put it so it's at the bottom of your page, all your sloping's going to the right.
yeah, see, do you see the 102 up in the corner?
No, I see all that.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about 102. What I'm looking at it is 96 and 92, so I'm just understanding this all goes to the right. Is the adjoining property continue to slope down, or
Yes.
is that, it does
Yeah,
slope down? So
the-
what's going to prevent the water from going from here to that neighboring lot?
that it's lower down here, and there's also a drainage swale with big stones in it along that lot line. And there's also going to be, which is indicated just in the words, or a retention basin underground, which the downspouts from the gutters will be fed into.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, go ahead.
this is only my own opinion, I'm not speaking for the board. Especially as of late, water's been an issue up in that particular area. My concern is if it goes to the right, and I'm not doubting anything that you're saying, but we refer to plans and nothing's shown there. So you've already told me that that land to the right is actually lower, and I don't see how the water's gonna, without seeing anything on a plan that we could refer to, how we can ensure that that water isn't gonna leave this property, go into the neighboring lot, rather go into that swale that's going forward. I just don't wanna create any more headaches for a building commissioner.
Right.
Because he'll get many calls if we create a new problem up there. So I would like to see a plan that actually showed what's going to go with that water. Because on this, it's showing me that everything's going to the right, and I don't remember Reed Road myself. I don't know if it's flat from Birch Hill or if it's a grade going up. So if that grade's going up,
It goes
if that
up.
grade's
It goes
going up, but the other, but the lot is sloped to that right in the direction in which it's going up, what's gonna,
No, the road goes up like this, and the rear of the lot is sloping down and going, in that direction. But we're going to be funneling the water over, and then in this drainage area, in here, toward the culvert.
okay. I would like to see something on the plan and actually have a stamp plan that we can refer to. We typically, when we do these cases, we always refer to the plan, whether it's we refer to the drawings that you have for the structure as well as a plot plan. Now, we do have a certified plot plan.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I feel like you guys keep moving the goalposts. We've given you the same, information each time, and now you're telling me that you want a certain kind of plan. I mean,
It's not our fault you come unprepared.
I don't.
How is this not?
I don't think I'm being unreasonable. You think I am, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your opinion on it?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, she just explained it, that the backside
Okay.
the water's going to go down there, right? It isn't going to come to where I think you're worried about where it's going to go.
Yeah, so what I was trying to do was understand where this was and just humor me for a minute, and I'm going to tell you why I said what I said. So this plan that we have, she identified these two lots as being there, right? So there's an empty lot in between this property and the house next door. So I'm assuming that you own looking at the house from Reed Road, you own the lot to the left.
No, actually, these people do.
Okay.
Okay. We can settle this real quick, so it's a misunderstanding on my part. Is this the house?
That is the existing house.
Okay, all right, just start with that one, right? What other lot do they own?
Yeah, and the new
Okay.
proposed location is like there.
Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. You don't mind?
No, go ahead.
So, that's the lot. Here's Reed Road, right? Here's your 102 is up here that
Yep.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
All this shows going this way, so what I had
Well,
asked,
but it's coming, that,
excuse me, let me
sorry, yep,
finish
yep,
and then you can tell
yep,
me.
Yep,
So what you had told me, I asked, does this lot here, which is this one, continue to drop on a grade? And you said yes.
Yes.
So if it does, my concern is, and the building commissioner can correct me, but I don't believe that we can direct water onto an abutting property.
well,
So
I'm directing the
my-
water out toward the culvert.
Street, because the culvert's right here.
Yep.
Water that exits the property, no more water can exit post-construction as what left the property pre-construction, is that correct?
So as it's read, any soils you're making impermeable by building on, you have to maintain any water you're generating on your lot, So if you got roof runoff from garages, homes, whatever, you need to maintain that water on your lot. And I believe I spoke with you
Yeah.
with regards to gutters, putting them into an actual leaching pit in the property, not putting them into a swale
Right.
to the gutters. And I believe trying to find it, I thought I had seen where you wrote that.
Yeah,
one of
it's
the-
on that page 17. Stormwater on the roof will be captured by gutters and downspouts.
Yeah,
and fed to
into a
retention
retention basin for all of your gutters.
Yeah.
And if I may, I think what he's trying to say is the soil, your lot's tipping, you've got a walkout basement on that side, and that lot continues to tip into the next lot, the abutter's lot. What are you proposing to do to make sure that any ground runoff on that, on your lot, is not going into the abutter's lot? So what he's saying is if you're putting a swale in there, as I think I hear you saying, it's not really showing up on your drawing as being a swale in there.
Well,
Right, that you're you're gonna swale it, but there's nothing showing on your drawing that a swale on that side for the potential water retention from your lot. Do you understand what I'm saying?
the dotted lines there,
Yeah,
that's basically where I'm thinking that, water would be,
It's just that 198, 96.
Yeah.
The sweeping line in the back here coming in for, it appears to be a walkway into the house. That whole dotted area is your swale area?
Yeah.
That's going to be recessed and then the property to, well, if you're on Reed
Yeah.
Road, the property to the right side still on your lot is
Yeah.
going to be elevated?
Yeah, and-
To keep
and-
any runoff?
and it's not going to be a paved, it's going to be, actually, the slope will just be grass, and then the flat part will be pea stone or gravel or something, a permeable surface.
Some kind of a permeable surface. So I think that's what he was asking. It's not really shown, a detail is not shown here.
I didn't understand that as a swell.
Right.
Right, it's
That
not,
that was the problem. So
Okay.
it's not, and you have, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, you have these elevations up here. You have one down the end, but I don't know what this is in the middle. So by me looking at the plan, it's just telling me everything's going to the right. So that's where that conversation came from. So if this is a swale and you're going to have this lower, it should be, if it's a swale, it's going to be lower than the abutting pieces of land. That should be noted, and that's up to the chairman if he accepts this plan like this.
Well, it's noted just in the note at the bottom, not on the
yeah,
drawing.
but usually there's grades so that it can be checked. There is no grades here for that swale. Usually it'll say the base of the swale is elevation such and such, and the side is elevation such and such, and it's,
But you did it at the top of it, and you did it at the very bottom, in the middle. That's why I didn't know what it was. And we approve something, he gets a complaint, he tries to enforce it, and you turn around and say, well, you approved it, and there's nothing here.
Well,
No, I know, I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you through it, so.
I apologize for not writing it on the drawing, but I
Yeah.
wrote it in the note at the bottom.
but was this done by an engineer?
I'm a licensed architect.
That wasn't my question.
Yeah.
No, I pride myself,
You're qualified to design drainage?
well, I mean, I've done a lot of this, and I...
You're qualified to design drainage, this was just my
Yes,
simple
yes.
question. You are?
I mean, this is going to sound funny, but I went to the University of Virginia for my graduate degree, and they have an interesting program where they have architecture, landscape architecture, planning, and architectural history all under one roof. So I think that the graduates from that school, myself included, we get probably the best landscape architecture education of any architecture school because of that. And when I went to sit for the licensing exam, I finished it in like 20 minutes, the practice one, and I called up the people and I said, like, did I do something wrong? Because it's supposed to take like an hour and a half. But I got such a good education in site planning and all that kind of stuff, unusually for an architecture school. So I've done many, many things, and I've had people where they come in and they say, this isn't going to work, and I say, the plan, look at the plan, it's going to work, and then it does. So, I've done this a lot. I'm a licensed professional. Believe me, I'm staking, I understand you're saying that you're looking at problems down the road. I do not want to be responsible for anything. So I have as much an interest in
So
this
you-
coming out right as
should
you
be
guys do.
Should be appreciate what I'm about to say. We sitting here having a conversation, we all understand what's being said. You take this piece of paper, you should be able to give it to somebody in the next room that wasn't in this conversation and understand what they're looking at.
Okay.
He may not be here in 6 months, I don't know, I don't know anything, but he may not be here in 6 months, and the next person coming in has to enforce something and pulls this out of the file, they're gonna have a little difficulty with it. I've been a builder for 31 years, and I missed that swale in there. I thought it was something else.
I've never seen an architect design drainage.
Neither have I.
I mean, that's me.
Yeah.
Now, I've been in it 58 years, okay? I mean, you know, I've
mean,
worked with a lot of architects.
The detail on here is quite weak compared to what we normally get.
Yeah. yeah,
And
I'm
it's,
saying,
this is very difficult to enforce, I would assume.
A sanitarian, do you do septics?
No.
See, septics are all drainage.
But the septic is already approved, so I,
No, but do you do? If I give you a septic, if I
The
say I
septic's
want
approved,
a
it should be
septic, can you design it?
design
No.
showing
You see,
grading,
that's what they go by.
Yeah.
which we should look at.
Yeah,
Drainage.
typically you
so
have,
when I got the instructions from the zoning office about the requirements for the application, it did not say that there needs to be a drainage drawing done by a licensed engineer, a drainage engineer.
Yeah, I'm not, listen, I'm for you. If it don't work, you gotta get your back here and you gotta make it work.
Absolutely.
Okay, but I mean, because these people that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I couldn't be more on that side, believe me.
Do you have a copy of the approved septic?
It's in here.
No, I mean, a full,
Pardon me? It is, sorry. Page 16, and that was pulled from your town office, health department. And this drawing has been in there since, the original application 3 months ago.
Whose engineer's stamp is on there?
On this,
Yeah.
Daniel Moniz.
okay, so on page 13, Dan, and everybody else, we have this helps you, by the way. You have a certified plan that actually shows the topos, so that's probably what you copied onto yours?
Yes.
Yeah. This helps because it gives us somebody with a stamp that shows us what the actual grades of the lot were. So typically, you would have something like this showing what the grades were, but then they would show what the proposed final grades would be, and they usually put a little rectangle box over it, around it, so that way we can look at it and say, oh, yeah, that's existing, and this is going to be proposed, and stuff like that. So that's why there's a little difficulty in trying to understand what you're doing, and all I'm doing is making sure that if I, for one, vote to approve something, I'm protecting that position over there to be able to have something that he can put his hands on and say, all right, you guys screwed up. You approved this thing and you shouldn't have, and what about the water and stuff like that? Unfortunately, this area that you're building in has been the hot seat for water. So.
Well, we were graced with rain today. I went over to the site, and these guys did a lot of work, and the road looked good.
Yeah.
So,
keep it that way.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Tavares and Mrs. Tavares are not coming in to flip this property or, like screw the neighborhood and then get out.
That's not even my- that's not even my concern,
They
so.
are, they are as interested,
Yeah.
if not more so,
Yeah.
in doing this right.
Yeah. I don't even think about their motivation of what they're doing the house for.
Okay.
That doesn't even play into my
So who's
personal
the
life.
engineer on the job that did it?
On this plot plan here, if he drew this house on it, did he provide this plan with this rectangle?
That's showing the minimum building setbacks, and we put the proposed house, inside of that, so.
Inside of that. So on page 13, Lou, we have from Daniel Tibnan, I guess, I don't know how to pronounce it, professional land surveyor, provided us with a plan that gave us a building envelope in there, and that's what you place the house inside that.
Yeah, and the
He's a land
Tavares is,
surveyor?
yeah, the
Professional land
Tavares is,
surveyor.
the
Yes, the
Tavares,
land surveyor can't do septics.
No, the septic system's already existing.
Septic
That's
system,
already
yeah.
But
existing.
there's no stamp on it?
no, there,
There's a stamp on it, that's already existing, that's already been
That's already
installed and
done.
approved, and
Yeah.
that's a pre-existing
That's someone else.
situation.
That's somebody
Yep,
else.
Yep,
and the Tavareses, at my request, paid extra to have a topo survey done, because I wanted to be able to understand, where I had to meet up at the lot lines and
Yep.
what was the existing, because you can't stand on the site and understand it, obviously, like you have to, I anyway need to use the existing topographical survey as a tool to be able to figure it out. So they paid, quite a bit extra as opposed to just having a flat survey. And we marked the trees, so we, save as many trees as possible.
Right.
That was also extra expense on the Tavares' part.
it's actually a better plan than the as-built for the septic. The as-built doesn't even give you any topos or nothing on it, no elevation, just shows you components.
This might be another case where we need to insist on
Shows-
things be
Yeah, shows components and
scale, to
dimensions.
scale. I mean, this is,
Yeah,
I personally think this is professional. I mean, it should be to scale.
right, this was pulled out of the Board of Health file,
Yeah,
I
I
believe.
understand, but it still should be to scale,
There's just a graphic scale on there.
I don't know. I mean, Ken, do you think there's enough here for you to enforce? Or be able to,
Or do you have any concerns, I guess?
yeah,
Well, I mean, the septic design there's got to be the full design in the Board of Health. Is that just one page that you happen to pull for that septic design?
I
on
just,
page
I
16?
contacted the Board of Health and
Is
asked,
the septic system already in?
yeah,
Yes.
So all completed, all covered?
Yeah.
So the only thing is there would need to be, some stipulation to have a set of plans that when you applied for the building permit.
The
it
as-built was done on 2005 for the septic. That's,
When the permit was applied for, that there was a plan showing your swale development, elevations on it, the whole thing. Could you get,
a stamp plan.
a stamp
Yeah.
plan to show that? I mean, if I had that with the application, as a condition of the application, I don't have a
Okay.
problem.
okay.
I think that would be able to be, I would have something enforceable at
Yep,
that point.
and that's,
And I think anybody going forward, if that was an order of conditions for the approval, should it be approved, that would be as it was, and they would have to take a few minutes to read it, make sure that they have what was ordered.
Thank you.
is there anybody else that would like to speak on this application? Yep, okay,
I'm Cheryl Gay, 22 Reed Road.
okay,
We own the property beside and as well as the property across the street. I'm kind of the spokesperson for the street, so I have a little from what everybody's brought to me that I'd like to point out. And this is all the neighbors. Because some work nights, because some have other responsibilities that can't be here. So, and we figure one person's better than a bunch of us all talking. So, they all feel the 25 and 50-foot setback is more than generous and should be enforced. Going outside of that, we all have small lots. We are all have minimal setbacks. I mean, if you've been in the neighborhood, you know, we all have our 50 by 100 lots. Our houses are right on top of our neighbors. And And the point, and you know, what they're upset about is we have somebody from out of state coming in and wanting them to go outside the footprint, outside the setbacks, and they feel it's disrespectful. It's like this, you know, this guy's coming in from another state. You know, he doesn't know any of us. He hasn't met any of us unless we force ourselves on him like I do. Because I want to know who's in my neighborhood. People who purchase, this is another point that was brought up. People who purchase houses on the terrace know before they even buy the houses that the rebuilding has to be done within the footprint. That happened at 3 Reed Road. That was torn down, rebuilt. They had to stay within the footprint. A house on Ritchie Road that just sold, it was advertised on the real estate thing that a house can be rebuilt, but it's got to be within the footprint. On the terrace, we stick in our footprints. You start building, an example of one that went outside the footprint is the house on Roslyn. And the house on Roslyn, because it's went way outside the footprint and way outside the setbacks, the neighbors all have water issues now. They all got pumps in their cellar, they're calling the town to come help them out. Because no water remediation was done, we have water issues. And on Reed Road, we're trying to keep Reed Road passive, because in the past, it's been terrible. So we've been working on it, the neighbors have been working on it, we're trying to keep the road open. And the other point was, if they go outside the footprint, outside the setbacks, where are they gonna put their driveway? Because it says, one thing one of the neighbors found was, there has to be an 18-foot wide clearance for a driveway. And this house has to have a driveway because you can't park on the street. There's a culvert in front of their house that has to be kept open. We've opened it, kept it open. The road is doing awesome. We were out in the pouring rain today. The water is going in the culvert like it's supposed to. We go out, you know, we're kind of stupid people. We go out there to make sure the water is going where it's supposed to because our road has been impassable. And the other big thing that everybody's concerned about is the road being blocked at any time. If there's construction going on, everything has to be kept in that yard. Our road is like 25 feet wide. Like people, the propane guy, when they deliver our propane, he has to back up the road. And it's like you can't go by. He has to back up and pull into our lot. So it's like the road has to be kept open. They can't have things blocking the road at any time because people need to get out for work, for family emergencies. And that was all the concerns from the neighbors.
Okay.
They kind of, getting a second letter kind of upset them.
Okay. Sir?
Mike Gage, 22 Reed Road. At the last meeting, at the last minute, as the meeting was adjourning, I heard one very concerning word, and it speaks to the blockage of the road, and that word was modular. In a 25-foot wide road with 4 modular sections of it being backed up that road to be taken off of a truck by a crane to be put on site, how do you do that without blocking the road? Just a question.
Yep.
You're doing fast.
How fast can you do it,
You do it for a living. Can you do it fast?
Of course. Of course. You do it fast. We're in Boston all the time.
What
We
do you
do it
think about
fast.
having
We
that
know that.
Boston's roads are wider than ours.
drainage plan
Yeah, well, you can say that. No,
Yeah.
part of the
And
decision
what's
instead
the
of
worst place?
throwing it on
They have what they call paper roads.
It could be a condition of it.
Okay?
I don't want that. I'm not comfortable pushing her off
They just pay for it.
for another plan.
Yeah.
But if it's conditional,
This is weak.
he's gonna have, believe me, he's gonna be a stickler. If we tell him that we want as part of the condition, a certified plan showing all that
With a house
information.
on it and a crane.
He won't accept it.
To move out of my way.
He won't accept it.
My dad's dead
He
before I
just
get
won't.
there. How am I supposed to feel?
Are you okay with us putting that on you?
Just do it fast. You
And
gotta
what is fast?
It's something that I do when I look for permits
A
anyway.
day?
Oh,
I mean,
No, I just don't want to.
make sure we have all the paperwork. all
Okay,
in
3 hours.
place.
I just
I
posed
don't have a problem with it as long as it's written.
And it's a real
Nobody can
scenario
come back
for
to
me.
me and say,
no,
I don't
no,
need that,
but
we're
that's
showing
all
it
over. I
written.
mean, that,
I need
we
it
block
written out.
25-foot roads.
You know,
it's
what you doing?
bad
No, you
enough.
should show me
You can't block
those.
people from being able to get out or an
You
ambulance
know,
from
you've
being
done
able to
enough
get
of
in.
them.
Yeah.
For 3 hours.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't,
As far as the driveway is for the
Yeah, they all come in
18 foot, I've never
different
heard of
sizes and
anything.
different.
Excuse me,
Also-
Mr. Chairman.
The size of this house, what they're proposing to put on there.
And they do
is
have
large.
a driveway.
Lou?
4 sections.
I don't know.
Lou?
I'm sure
It's
that.
a mute point.
And I'm.
No room for the
just
crane.
speaking-
It's only
No, no, no,
25 feet
no.
from the
What
septic
I was
to the
gonna
house.
say is-
They can't even fit the
I
crane.
think that,
They're not doing that.
Yes.
Modular home, right?
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Gay? Mr. Gay? We just stop the,
one second.
That's a driveway.
the audience. No, I'm not trying to, just to keep us, nope, just to keep us focused on what we're doing.
Yes, please.
But the,
I mean,
they'll,
18 foot.
just an opinion, they're going to be challenged to try to do this in a
I've never
modular because
seen
they
it,
don't have
so-
any space to put the
I've
crane.
never seen that.
It's from the septic system to the house is only 25 feet. Louis can confirm with me that you need a 30 by 50 foot area in order to set up the crane.
Yep, easy.
So, it's going to be a challenge anyways, but as you stated, they can't block off the road. But
16 or
as
18.
you asked Louis, it can be done quickly, because what they do is they'll prep the boxes, bring them down, they do a fast unbolting, they pick it and go. So there are ways of doing it. That's going to be their challenge, but
Yeah.
you have rules on yours, in your favor, that you can't block the road for emergency unless they pay for a detail to be there for you. So there's ways around it, and that's not what we're here for tonight, actually, but I'm just
No,
trying to
yeah, I
answer
just
your
don't wanna-
questions and your concerns that you have on that.
And you-
Appreciate it. I appreciate
They do have a driveway on their plan.
Come back again for the swales.
There is a driveway on the plan. It's on the left-hand side of, from Reed Road, it's on the left-hand side of their lot. The
And that
width,
also is
the
gonna be
width of the
permeable.
driveway, I don't know if they, we don't have any regulations, it's got to be 18 feet
I don't
wide.
remember seeing
I've never
anything.
seen
If you
that,
want to
so.
hand me, I didn't bring my zoning book, if you want to.
Hey,
Zoning book, I'll take a look quick and see if I can find something in there, but I don't remember
Yeah.
seeing anything.
I don't believe there is.
The driveway that they have drawn on there is quite wide. If it's to scale, it's almost 3/4 of the width of the house. So,
Okay.
I don't know what the scale of your driveway is, but
Can I ask Aaron a question, or would that?
through the
No,
chairman.
go ahead.
Chair, may I ask Aaron a question, or would that?
Well, sure. Why don't you ask me and we'll go from there.
My question would be, they have a quite wide driveway, and it's on the left-hand side, which is the upside of the road.
Okay?
Is there any plan in place in that driveway plan that's there for water remediation, for that water to run into the existing culvert rather than run down the road and wash out the money that I just spent?
Would you like to answer that, please?
The driveway is not going to be asphalt paved, it's going to be a permeable, so it won't be water rushing.
It's permeable now and there's water running down it.
Right.
That's, I said it at the last meeting, and
That's why
I'll say it
it's
again
done.
tonight. There's water running down that driveway.
I was just there just now. I mean, I trust you, you're there more often, but
Yeah, and you left ruts in there where you were, we saw, because it's so soft.
Dan, is that isn't there a,
So now we gotta go back.
it's either with
and
John
put the
or a
ruts so we
bylaw
go
that you
back to the
can't,
culvert.
your water can't run out into the street from the driveway?
It's tough.
It's tough up there.
It's a tough area, and I'm not trying to make your job harder, Aaron. I just wanted to come out at the end to be nice.
I can answer the driveway question for you.
Yeah, what is it?
All right, so
Hold on one
what
second.
it says here, in section 5.0, general regulations, each
I'm sorry,
family
could
dwelling.
you say the section
One parking
again?
space for each
What?
dwelling unit.
Wait,
is
one minute.
required.
He'll repeat it in a
On-street
second.
parking, okay? And then driveway widths, where is it? Parking space, each parking space shall measure 9 feet in width and 18 feet in length.
Okay.
Oh, 18 feet in length, not width.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
Christopher had it.
That's 5.0 5.1.4.
What's that, Mr. 42,000?
Okay.
And I would say if it was so ordered that they do a drawing to be supplied with the building permit for the property, they can show proper drainage or swalage, whatever they need to do for the driveway to make sure, whether they come down to a recessed area to drain into the culvert or what, but they can show it, and that would be what would be expected.
Okay.
I'm sure the Tavareses would be happy to hire an actual engineer to do this.
Okay. What's the board's pleasure? I think maybe we should discuss some of what Ken said. If it's going to move forward with a vote tonight, a condition has to be on there that be to this,
And engineered.
an engineered plan to the satisfaction of Ken when they apply for a building permit, and maybe we should include John in there,
To show,
John,
to
or the
show how
town
the,
highway superintendent.
highway superintendent.
Sure.
specifically identifying the water runoff into the culvert through, whether it's through the swale and where the driveway is concerned.
Any water mediation on the property to do with the property.
Okay.
Any other
I just want to.
questions or discussion?
I just want to look at that.
No, I'm good.
Just look at this for a minute. Freaking lost all this shit. It's everywhere.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the advertisement. How it was advertised. Probably over here. Probably in all this junk.
What do you want to, here's the whole file.
Good.
This is the old one, I believe.
No, that's the file, so where's the advertisement?
Oh, that, okay, I know what you mean.
So what do we want to do here?
Yep. No, that's what Tina, Tina.
Well, we could-
Canton.
If everybody's satisfied, we can close the public hearing, and then,
Yeah,
So
if
moved.
you- just give me 1 minute.
okay?
Sorry, John.
Yep.
Here it is.
You got it?
I got it.
Yeah.
No. Thought I had it.
I didn't get a copy.
I'm looking for last month's, that's what I
The
bought last month's
advertisement we didn't
paper.
get a copy of?
That's right, we've got to get this stuff before the meeting, well before the meeting, like we used to.
Right.
Yep, that being said, that's true.
Right.
I got it to Maria 3 weeks ago, so I gave her 10 copies.
Maybe we should have you handing out the paperwork to us. Question for Ken. And I know all the discussions that we had before. The stairs are considered part of the setback on the front stairs and the side stairs?
Right, that's why you're gonna redraw them with the
Yep,
setbacks in.
no. There's a reason why I'm asking you that is, I just want to make sure that it's on the record that that's included as part of the setback, and because we grant this as it's submitted, and we don't specify that the stairs are part of it, you could bring the porch out to another 8.5 feet on the end of the house. So, I guess if we use the plans by Impreza. I just want to make sure that they're,
They're at the back of the,
is this the actual house that they're going to build?
yes.
So the last revision date on these plans is 7/13/21 on 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 these Impreza plans. So if we want to reference that, 7/13, 21. We have a plot plan 8/11, 21. And then that's just showing our setbacks, and they're gonna have to provide us with or provide the building commissioner with a certified plot plan showing the grading, including the swales in the driveway, to mitigate your water runoff.
Yep.
You want to include all that, John, into your thing? This is your plot plan, that's the date, here's your
I'll
house.
go for it. Good enough.
Okay, make a motion to approve,
We didn't do the close public hearing.
No, we got to close it, right.
oh, we did?
No, we did not.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Bombara, seconded by Mr. Fitzpatrick to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing's closed.
I
Go
have
ahead, Mike.
nothing else to add. No, you're supposed to ask, we gonna talk about it? No? Everybody's good?
I thought we
Yeah.
were there.
All right, so I'm just looking for, move to approve the application for Jim Tavares, case number 2021-14, for a house to be built on 17 Reed Road. The plans by Impreza Modular submitted, the last revision date is 7/13/21. There's a site plan showing the proposed setbacks, 17 feet on the left side from the property line to the stairs.
It's 17.5. Right.
I don't see 17.5. I see 17
Oh, that's
feet
a
on
different,
line.
I'm sorry, that's the old plan, I'm sorry. You did take it away, I'm sorry. This is the new one. Sorry. Take that back.
We good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Go for it.
Need medication?
No. Give me enough today.
Rear setback to the rear platform that's 5.5 feet out from the house will be 20 feet from the rear line to that platform and the stairs. On the right-hand side, it's 25.5 feet from the sideline setback to the foundation. On the front, it is going to be 39 feet from the front setback to the base of the stairs, according to the plan dated 8/11/21. And would also like to add, as a condition, to be supplied to the building commissioner upon application, a certified plot plan showing the driveway location, the width, how they're going to mitigate the water going towards the culvert, their proposed grading plan, including the swale that's going to handle the water that's going to the right-hand side of the lot. And I think that's all I have. I don't know if anybody
But
else
it has
has
to be
anything.
a plot plan by a civil engineer.
It'll be a certified plot plan, so it has to be
No, but it's
stamped.
gotta be a civil engineer.
You're right. Correct, Lou.
See what they're doing is using the stamps.
Yep,
Everybody's stamping everything.
Yep.
Yep.
Civil engineer.
An engineered plan by a registered engineer
Civil engineer,
to the satisfaction of the building commissioner and highway superintendent.
yeah.
Sound good?
anything else, Ron? No? You good, John?
I'm good.
That's my motion.
Okay,
Second.
we have a motion by Mr. Fitzpatrick, seconded by Mr. Bombara, to approve the application of Jim Tavares, case number 2021-14, 17 Reed Road. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That was myself, Mr. Fitzpatrick, Mr. Bombara, Mr. Forget, and Mr. Tassino voting all in favor. None opposed.
That's the best way to do it.
Well, I think the process has been good because it's, anyway, it was rough, but good.
They're not all like this, by the way.
Well, we usually get much better information than we got, let's
I'll
be
be honest about that. too.
honest. We get much better information.
Thank you, Bob.
The decision will go to town council, they'll draft up the decision, and we get it back, we sign it, it's stamped in, and then you have 20 days from that point. Can't guarantee when they're gonna give it back to us.
Yeah, and I understand that we need to bring it to the town clerk to get it registered, or to the clerk to get it registered?
No,
Or is that done?
our office will bring it to the town clerk.
Very good, okay.
After she gathers all the signatures.
Yeah,
Great.
Thank you.
thank
All
you.
right.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Appreciate your time.
That's the decision for family convenience,
Yeah, and,
and then the project down on Webster Road.
Some people just don't like to do it like it's supposed to be done.
You know what? I agree. They go that far, they're gonna build a several $100,000 project, but they won't spend $500, $1,000 for an engineer to do a plan that
Yeah, everyone can read,
everyone can read.
that's all. People do it, people do it. Nothing wrong with it.
And you know, I mean, Ken's gonna be would be getting the calls if it's not, if there's a water problem. And
yeah, and I wasn't trying to be difficult with it, Ronnie, it's just a total shit show up
Well,
there.
the only thing I was
We're on live.
I was
We're
alluding
live.
to is that,
Sorry, excuse me, everyone.
the only thing I was alluding to was the fact that this is the third time she's come,
Right.
and I couldn't find what you
Yeah.
found, because I don't have the experience, but
Yeah.
it should have been, it shouldn't take 3 times for her to come back, because she was upset because she had to come back 3 times.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But it was all on her. It was,
If you want to draw a good picture, those guys, they got the best crayons. You can draw good pictures with their crayons,
no,
okay?
but
Ronnie, let me say this, I'll have to agree with Ronnie when he says she's coming back for the third time. Not any fault of us.
That's
The
it.
last month when they were in here, we were focused on the setbacks.
Yeah.
And the month before that, we had talked about the drainage,
Yeah.
and we dropped it. And I mean, that was partly our fault, because we didn't say nothing last month at all
but
about it.
John,
I believe we did say about the drainage
Yeah.
last month, though,
Yeah.
because it was,
Well, not to this depth, though, Ken.
No.
Well,
You know what I'm
he
saying?
had-
Yeah,
he
but
had mentioned, it was mentioned at the board, at the meeting, the last
Yeah.
meeting, that they wanted to have a engineer set a plan showing the topo of the land, because the
was
concern was
last
the
month?
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't remember that. I didn't
And then she
remember
didn't
that.
have something else, and that's what prompted it to end up having to, she had to reapply and come back, and the board offered to waive the fee of the reapplication.
Yeah.
But-
Well, the other thing is, we talked about it was not getting this stuff on time.
Well, not getting it on time, but the process, and it's all in the works to try to correct this, but the process has to be fixed before it gets to us. It is not our responsibility to tell you what you need.
No,
You bring
no,
us what
absolutely
you
not.
have,
Yeah.
and if it's wrong, we're not supposed to be sitting there holding your hands there, all right?
Yeah, but you
That's
know
all,
that,
that's
but
against the rules.
She's an architect, and a poor person, she gets lost, she doesn't understand, this is what you need, okay? This is what you need, you know something? We work all over hell, from Boston to
Yep.
you name it, you know something? A guy with, what do you want, sir?
Yep.
Right? That's it, what do you want, sir? And you know something, what do you want, you gotta give him.
but we've had many cases that have come in here with a plan drawn
whole
to
set of
scale,
plans.
stamped with all the information on it. I mean, this was almost grade school stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going through the same thing on a particular project right now, it's nowhere near here. And what's happening is they're penny wise and pound foolish, as the old saying goes. I don't want to pay him to do the drawing if I can just sketch it out myself, and I'm saving money, but at the end of the day, they wasted time. No, but that's what it's coming down to. When you go do a project, do you get a civil engineer to do your plot planning, get this one to do this and
Yeah.
that, and then you submit your, well, that's what you do.
Right.
That's not what we,
Today, everything's easy, you set it up. Right.
She wasn't, if the project wasn't in the.
There's 3 copies there for you to sign.
Right.
Typically, you're not looking at build-outs that are, elevation change of 12 feet over a 100-foot of lot.
Right.
Yeah,
So she's in severe, so, I mean, it's not unreasonable to request. I mean, I did a build on a small lot myself, and I had to show full drainage capabilities and retention and everything for the lot.
Yeah.
I had to get an engineer, it cost me 10 grand at the end of the day, it's 10 grand, but I had to do what I had to do.
Gotta do it, that's it.
So for her to get her permit from me, I'm gonna wanna see that full set of engineered drawings
Yeah.
come, that's all.
Hey, you know something? They can draw it up nice and do a nice job, it'll come out nice. But the point is, you see, you got an architect don't like engineers.
Right.
Sanitarians don't like architects and back and forth people. You know, you gotta get an engineer drawing, you gotta get it done. And I gotta get the hell out of here, but very good view, you guys. It was a good meeting.
no, we have one more. Is that continued?
Yep.
Huff?
Yeah.
Yep, the flag case for Huff Road, Maria received a request for an extension yesterday, and they gave us an additional 30 days. They're apparently not ready to come back. So we did give them, or I guess we can vote on that, but I had told Maria that as long as they gave us 30 days additional to make the decision, would be fine.
That's all.
So I think we're fine.
This gentleman here is doing his homework here. What the hell are you doing?
I'm signing. I got something.
Were those?
So these are still the same, nothing's been corrected on them, so
Okay.
let's pass over those minutes.
Yep. Okay.
Make a motion to pass over the minutes of January 6th until they get
I checked
corrected.
those later.
Okay,
I think his name's on there too, is he not?
Mr.
Louis?
Chairman?
sure will.
I make a
You
motion
will have
to
to-
adjourn. I need a second.
Louis got to sign
All
him.
right, we have a motion to adjourn by Mr. Fitzpatrick, seconded by Mr.
There's three.
Tassino. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Say aye, Louis.
The meeting's adjourned.